wanna be the GOAT. It's time to enter God mode, man, let's get it going. I wanna be the greatest, energy is overflowing. I know I'm stoking the fire, my desire's taking over, not tired, I'm inspired, rewired. I know just what is required. My brain knows how to decipher the messages, looking brighter. Already paid up the piper, my game is getting much tighter. I feel my body on fire, Now it's game time. All the practice to prepare for this main time. I could do anything, that's my baseline. Go ahead and do you, I'ma make mine. You gon' read me in the headlines. Always go up, I don't know a decline. On the glow up, getting better with time. Yeah, I'm about to hit my prime. The air is filled up with suspense. We've got our dreams we must defend. And we know what we represent. So we'll keep fighting till the end. And we'll keep fighting till we win. This is our calling, this is our calling. Yeah, we'll keep fighting till the end. And we'll keep fighting till we win. This is our calling, this is our calling. Yeah, we'll keep fighting till the end. I hope you're ready for battle, you better get on the saddle. We got some demons to tackle, yeah. We about to put on a show. These haters don't even know they're in too deep like a hole. And they about to find out what it means when you enter into my house. How it feels when you always seem to strike out. Cause I don't lose, no I win, I go wall out. The air is filled up with suspense. We've got our dreams we must defend. So we'll keep fighting till the end. And we'll keep fighting till we win. This is our calling, this is our calling. Yeah, we'll keep fighting till the end. And we'll keep fighting till we win. This is our calling, this is our calling. Yeah, we'll keep fighting till the end. They can feel the storm, it's coming. They can hear the drum beat thumping. Off in the distance, we're the resistance. They gon' be the one who's running. They can feel the storm, it's coming. They can hear the drum beat thumping. Off in the distance, we're the resistance. They gon' be the one who's running. They can feel the storm, it's coming. They can hear the drum beat thumping. Off in the distance, we're the resistance. They gon' be the one who's running. They can feel the storm, it's coming. They can hear the drum beat thumping. Off in the distance, we're the resistance. They gon' be the one who's running. And we'll keep fighting till we win. This is our calling, this is our calling. Yeah, we'll keep fighting till the end. And we'll keep fighting till we win. This is our calling, this is our calling. Yeah, we'll keep fighting till the end. This is our calling, this is our calling. This is our calling, this is our calling.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Dutchess, and this is where we talk about true crime and missing cases. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope everyone has had a wonderful weekend. Just looking at all the wonderful people that's here joining me tonight. Thank you to all of the members. I wanted to give you guys a shout out. And I really appreciate you guys being here to support this mission to help find missing people and give families of the missing people a platform to be able to share their story, to find out the truth about what happened to their missing loved one. So you guys are so appreciated. And I really appreciate all of y'all being here. I'm going to go over to the chat. Miss AJ is going to be a few minutes late. She has some things that she needs to take care of. So, so I appreciate you guys being here and waiting. But we're going to talk about a few things before she gets here. So, so I'm going to just go over to the chat and say hey to everybody. Y'all had a good weekend? It's kind of chilly here in South Carolina. I got my Mickey Mouse sweatshirt on in my pajamas because it's chilly and I'm under the covers with a 95-pound Doberman on me, ready to solve the world's problems. So I'm going over here. Hey, Callie. Callie was here waiting first thing. Thank you, Callie. And we have Leanna Brown. Hey, Leanna. I hope you're doing good. Thank you, Callie. I am feeling much better. Still kind of feeling tired, but I am doing so much better. So thank you for asking. And I think AJ's nephew is doing okay. I think he's just, his ego's probably bruised. You know how it is when you were in school and you got injured or fell down in front of your friends. Like, that's never any fun, guys. So please keep him in your thoughts and prayers. I know AJ would really appreciate that. Hey, Michelle, you were the first one on my list. Did you see that? I love you so much, sweet friend. And thank you for all of your help the last couple of days in helping me navigate through all the things that we've been dealing with. Hey, Donna, I hope you're having a great Sunday evening and welcome back to the group. Hey, Kevin. I'm so glad to see you here in the chat. Thank you so much, by the way, Kevin, for your email. And I got a little video for you. So, so stay tuned. Hang around for just a few minutes because I did ride out to the 53rd Avenue boat landing in Cherry Grove. So please stick around for that video. Hey, Becky. I hope you're doing good. Hey, Roxy. So good to see you. Hope you're doing good. Hey, Camshaft. What's up? Always a pleasure to see you. Hey, Sherry. Hope you're having a good evening. Hey, Miss Rosie. So good to see you. Hey, Debbie Johnson. Thanks for being here. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Kat M. And guys, I just want to give just a reminder, I'll play all the copyright if you guys want me to play the chat rules and all that stuff. Y'all just be kind to each other and just respect the people on panel. This is not an echo chamber and we don't always have to agree, but the facts matter. And if we know that something is factual, let's not beat the dead horse with all the other information if we know what the actual facts are. But there's a lot of things that we don't have all the information about. And I know that everyone has different opinions. And it's okay for us to have a difference of opinions. And we can still be respectful to each other. We don't have to always agree. If this was an echo chamber and we all were saying the exact same things, what would be the point of us being here? That's why we like to have these discussions because, I think it's just really good to walk through all of the information to make sure that we're not missing anything. And we don't go real life here. I don't want people calling people in the DNR and harassing them or harassing people that are involved in Tyler's case. That's never appropriate to go after people in real life or threaten to dox them, threaten to go after them, threaten to do harm to them. I don't conduct my real life that way, and I certainly don't conduct things like that on the internet. And I just ask that you guys be respectful. What you do in your own personal lives and how you conduct yourself on other YouTube channels is none of my business. But how I want you guys to just conduct yourself here in my digital house really means a lot to me. And I just wanted to clarify that. and everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Even AJ and I might not always agree about how she might see things. That's why it's good to have these discussions, to talk about things, because I want to understand why somebody believes why they believe. And then that helps me to understand, why a person, where they're coming from. So, and that's how we figure things out. That's how we work through all of this information together. Hey, Kimberly Hoyle, it's good to see you. Hope you're doing good. Hey, Hannah. Hey, Kristen Reynolds, it's good to see you. Hey, Velvet, thanks for being here. Yes, justice for Tyler. Hi, Miss Heidi. So good to see you. Hey, Christine, I hope you're doing good. Hey, Julianne. Good to see you. Hey, Allie. So good to see you too. Hope you've been doing good. Of course, I see a lot of these people in my Discord, so and I appreciate y'all chatting and stuff like that. If you're a member of the top 3 tiers and you're in Discord, those people, they can just ask me questions there, and I am going to address a couple things that we've been talking about over there too. Hey, Jordan Marie, so good to see you. South Carolina DNR, yeah, Mariah. Lots of stuff. If you're not over there in the Tyler Doyle Facebook group, Discovering the Truth, I encourage you to go over there and check those things out, and cleartruth.com. And it talks all about, why we are combing back over this information. Hey, Stephanie Coley, thanks for being here. Hey, Dragon, I hope you're doing good. Been thinking about you. Mariah says that her 12-year-old cousin just passed away. I'm so very sorry, Mariah. We are praying for you. I'm so very sorry for your loss. Hi, Tamara Price. It's good to see you. I had a friend that passed away like that. So I'm really sorry to hear that. We will be thinking of his family and you, of course, Mariah. Y'all say a prayer for Mariah and her friend that passed away, please. Hey, Lolly. So good to see you. I hope you've been doing good. I have missed so much YouTube, but I hear that the streets are on fire today, but I've missed it all. Thank goodness. You have a 16-year-old cousin that was murdered, and you're fighting for justice for her. Well, you can certainly send me an email at Dutchess number 4 the missing @gmail.com. Or you can reach out to me on Facebook Messenger. You can send me a message, and when I have some extra time, I'll certainly try to get in touch with you, and you can, send me the information that you have, and I'll be happy to read through it. Hey, Misty Martin, it's good to see you. Hey, Miranda, glad to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hey, Cindy, I hope you're doing good. Hey, Victoria, glad to see you. Hey, Kathy, thanks so much for your text today. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for praying. They certainly need prayers. And I do want to have a moment of silence for the Doyle family before we get started, because I know you guys don't always know everything that goes on, but there is a lot that's going on. And if you guys could just keep them in your thoughts and prayers, please. So we're just going to take a moment of silence for the Doyle family. If you guys would just put some hearts and prayer hands in the chat. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so very much. I know that it's felt. I promise you. And it's so needed. Shay, if you're listening, do you see all this? I just want you to know that we love you. Talk to me, Michelle, because I'm behind in chat. Do we have a troll? Because if there's somebody that is being disrespectful and not making this about what we're here to talk about, my mods will show you to the door. If you disrespect me or my mods, they will show you to the door and you will be blocked from chatting in this live stream. If you need to reach out to me, you can email me. But please don't come in here and try to distract or anything like that, because if you find yourself timed out, I don't want to get an email of complaints, because I will delete it. Because it's clear. I've made it very clear multiple times for 2 years. These are my rules. And that's it. No questions asked. Thank you, Brad. I'm so glad to see you. I hope you're doing good. Thank you for being here. Alpaca Maid, thank you for your email. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. I think it's going to be really important. Now, I missed some of your comments earlier on because I was so behind, but I wanted to have that moment of silence for the family. Just know that your love is felt because they need it. I promise you. Hey, Ghost Eagles, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Well, the mods know how to handle it, I promise you. But thank you, Camshaft, y'all. Yeah, Misty, it's Sunday, y'all. I'm trying to be like Jesus. I am trying to be like Jesus, Michelle, okay? Misty knows. Apparently the word is out. Always, Christy. But it is what it is. Hey, Libby. I'm glad to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Preach. Yeah, today is not a good day. I did have a good weekend. I spent some time with my husband. It's Myrtle Beach bike week here, and we did some riding around on the Harley from here to Myrtle's Inlet, down to the Beaver Bar and Suck Bang Blow, all the places. A lot of accidents. We had a really good time. I needed to clear my mind. There's just been a lot going on, but I was going back up here in the comments. I just want to make sure. Michelle will let me know if I missed anything, because there's a good chance that I might have, and I apologize for missing all the comments. Hey, Matthew, so glad to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Carol, it's good to see you. I'm glad that you joined us. Okay. Mods, you know how to handle it. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. First things first. Where do I want to start? I got an email, and that was from Kevin, and we were talking about the waiters. Do you mind if I share the email, Kevin, that you sent me? Can I disclose like what we talked about, what you were letting me know about the waiters? Because I agree with you. I agree with you, and I think it is a very fair point that you brought up. And that's why I decided to go out to 53rd Avenue to check for the cameras and stuff like that that we talked about. But we were talking about the waiters, okay? And he, was just saying that he was born and raised on the water. He's a hunter and a fisherman. And he obviously works on the water. And so, but he made some very valid points about things that hunters would do, you know? Hang on, let me go in here. Oh, Kevin said, absolutely not. And then he said, go ahead. I'm not going to show your email or anything, but I just wanted to just explain, how I just had to agree with you, Kevin. I appreciate you letting me just, because obviously someone that has experience on the water, someone that is very familiar with the water, that is a hunter and a fisherman on the water, I'm going to listen to what their opinion is about this, because I've spoken to a lot of hunter and fishermen. And it's very interesting, Kevin, that what you told me is pretty much the same thing that other hunters and fishermen that I've spoken to about the waiters, they have the same response. And basically, he said it doesn't make any sense to him. He said because at any given time, there's no reason that a hunter would have one shotgun shell when going duck hunting. Because obviously in duck hunting, you shoot a lot and you need shells. And any hunter who prepares themselves, just like any fisherman who prepares themselves to go on the water, is going to load up their gear. Yes, Kevin did say that he works as a boat captain and works offshore. For almost 20 years. He's been doing all of these things. And so he has a lot of experience. And I've talked to other boat captains. I mean, I've talked to Danny Jewell. I've talked about this with multiple people at the marina right across from where I live. That was the one central thing, Kevin, that they said that you said. When does a hunter put on his waders and there's a place, that holds those shells? And he was like, even if you're not the one that may not be taking the shot at that time, there could come an opportunity when you might have a shot to take. And any hunter that is prepared is never just going to have one long shell in his waders. He would have stocked up and prepared himself. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like that totally made sense because Kevin confirmed everything from other people that I've spoken to when I've asked about the waiter situation. Kevin, I do want to ask you a question in the chat, and then I'll go back and look at some of these comments. Kevin, tell me your thoughts. The other question I see a lot of people asking, because in my opinion, I don't feel like it's possible, but maybe you can tell me because you're an experienced hunter and fisherman. If you have on bib waders and you're in a situation where you have to hurry up and pull those things off, when you pull off those waders, are they going to come off inside outward? I bet you they are. And if you're in a hurry, you're not going to turn them right side outward and throw them in the water. They're just going to be out in the water, because as soon as you can get them off, you're not even thinking about if they're inside out or not, because that's the least of your concerns. So how is it that the waders were found, but they were completely flat and the right way? They weren't inside out, which I don't find that would be how they would have ended up once Tyler had taken them off. And I've asked other hunters and fishermen this same question, and that's what they told me. If you're in a hurry to get those things off, he said, it doesn't matter even if you're not in a hurry. Those things are coming off inside outward, and just floating in the water may not turn them back the way that they're supposed to be. Like that's likely not to happen because it's such a heavy material and it's going to be weighted down with the water, and it would have stayed that way. They would have been all wadded up. So, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, Kevin. So I'm going to go back up here and chat, and I'm going to look at some comments, and then I'm going to wait for you to respond. So Christy says, my ex's dad fell off the tugboat. Oh my gosh. And it was awful for his family. They had the same problem as this family. Too many chiefs and not enough Indians. That is a very good point, Christy. And I'm so very sorry. I hope your ex's dad is okay. The shotgun shell wasn't even rusted from the salt. Well, I mean, it did have a little bit of rusting around the edge. Once after a few days, once the sun dried out and everything. But I'm like, what if it was like that before? I think the point that maybe Kevin was making was, what if that's why Tyler was online trying to buy waders? Because the waders that he was looking for, maybe somebody had taken them. And he asked me what I thought about that. And I said, I need more information to prove that, because facts matter. But he has a very good point. So, all things considered. And Ghost Eagle says, you have more than one shell, different types as well. If you're near the water, you have gear for multiple scenarios. Yeah, if you have multiple, artillery, like, some people bow hunt, some people, they may have different guns. So you may, that is so true. That is so true. Would the shells fall out? Well, there is a pocket on the waders that actually has a place that holds the shotgun shells. And they probably wouldn't have fallen out. So, because they have like this little stretchy thing where they like the shotgun shell fits down in it and it kind of holds it. Yeah, shells, knife strings. Old waders, Kevin Frank said. Yes, the shotgun shell holders will get loose. Those were new waders, though, so they wouldn't fall out. See, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, they were brand new. Supposedly, Michelle had just bought those, his mom, from Dick's not too long before that. Oh, he was killed. Oh, my gosh, that's terrible, Christy. I'm so sorry. I'm so very sorry. Yeah, they do come off inside out. That's what I was told. If they are flat, they were not used. That's what I was told, is that they were flat. So it's very interesting. How did CH swim in waders? That's what I've been wondering. Well, if they pulled up next to the jetty, guys, like if he had to wade out in the water, he probably only had to wade up to his waist to get into the boat. Where they would have pulled up at, guys, he wouldn't have had to go underwater. I just want people to realize that when it's low tide right there, their boat can actually pull up onto where the sand is. He may have had to walk down the rocks, and he might have got the bottom part of his legs wet, but there's a good chance he didn't have to get completely submerged in water, but he may have had to get out into his waist. Yeah. But he wouldn't have had to get submerged underwater necessarily because they can't actually pull up that close. And I wouldn't know that had I not seen other situations that have happened out there in the past. I don't know, Christy. I know that he was looking for them, but I don't have any information if the purchase was actually made. Julian says, I feel like sharing and the family were being watched and the waiters were put in the vicinity wanting them to be found. Julian, I think a lot of people, have questions about that. I'm hoping more information is going to come out because we really need to know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially with Tyler trying to get them off fast. He would definitely have had them inside out and probably not flat. They would have been wadded up. Yeah. See, that's all right. Here we go. Kevin says, if they are wet, most times they will go inside out. Also, if a tight fit, they will go inside out. Like I said, I believe he never had those waders on. Very interesting. No. Can you hear me okay?
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Now I can. I guess it would help if I unmuted.
It's okay. I'm just going through some comments. Hope says, because from a hunter and a family of hunters, the way the water runs would have pulled them off just like he found them. That's what I was told. That's why I kind of wanted, with Kevin having this experience. Y'all, AJ is here. Y'all welcome AJ to the live. I told her she was going to be a few minutes late. She had some things to take care of. What we were just talking about was I have this nice gentleman, Kevin, that emailed me, and he is a hunter and a fisherman, and he actually works offshore, and he is the captain of a fishing boat. And he had emailed me to say that the waiters, it didn't make sense about the one shotgun shell.
Right.
And I think we had, I told you about that.
Right.
So,
and when the way you explained it, it didn't make sense at all.
and they were new waiters, so it would have been gripping those like it gripped that one shell. Versus, he said, if it was an old set of waiters, sometimes those little pieces of elastic, they get loose, and they don't hold the shotgun shells in there.
Right.
So I thought that was very interesting. So, I was just asking what people thought and asking Kevin, because I have asked other hunters and fishermen and people that work over here at the marina what their thoughts were about the waders being found, right side out. And if Tyler were to have taken those off in a hurry, it seems to me, according to my previous interviews about this with some other local people, that those waders would have been inside out. And they probably would have remained wadded up and they would have not corrected themselves. And, the water wouldn't have made them turn right side out and then straightened out into flat. And I wanted his opinion, what he also thought about that, because most of the people that are hunters and fishermen, they said if you had to take those off in a hurry, they would have been inside outward and they would have been in a wad, and there's no way the ocean would have corrected that. So I just thought that was a very interesting observation. Brad says, hey Brad, I hope you're doing good. We had a duck hunter 3 years ago drowned. They were turned inside out when they were found. Wow. Like I said, I bet I talked to more than 15 people and they all gave me the same answer, guys. I didn't have one person that told me that the ocean current would actually turn the waders back to the correct way and it would have made them flat and straightened out. I mean, it had only been just a few days. I don't even know where they came from. It seems like that the Coast Guard making all of those grid patterns in the sky, plus having the boats out there, that the waders would have been found immediately out in the water. I don't know. That's just, it's very interesting. Kevin said, yes, even in the ocean, you have to force shells in the holders. Oh, wow. And I don't know if he ever actually purchased the new waders. I don't have any factual information that supports that. We just know that he was, in fact, looking at waders online the morning of the hunt.
Yes,
The
he
morning
was
of
actually looking that very day. So I just feel like, why was he looking for waders if he just got a brand new pair?
Maybe because he couldn't find the pair. Oh, I'm getting reverb. Mute yourself and then go to your settings box and make sure you click on audio and then hit that echo cancellation and reduce mic background noise. If that doesn't fix it, you can mute yourself because it sounds like I'm getting feedback from something. I don't know if you have another app open or something. But
Are you still getting it?
do what?
Are you still getting feedback?
Yeah, I'm still getting feedback. Sometimes we have technical difficulties, guys. Bear with us. We'll try to get it fixed. Yeah, see, I did ask, like I said, more than 15 locals, and they told me it was highly doubtful. Now, I don't own a pair of waders. My husband does. He says no. So, I don't know. Yes, they were a new pair.
Okay, just cut out now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm repeating myself. Did you go into your settings on StreamYard? Wait a minute, I think she's gonna try to come back, guys. Y'all pray for her audio. It happens sometimes. Did those shells match his gun, the 12 gauge or the 20 gauge? Hannah, I do not have the answer to that. That's something I'd have to ask the family, and they are not available right now. Yeah, it would make sense because that's the only thing that I can reason with, Misty, is like maybe he did have the new waders, but what if he couldn't find them? And maybe that's why he was looking for some, is because, well, he couldn't find his waders that day. And that's what Kevin had said. I thought that was an interesting point. So, because we don't know why he was looking for a pair of waders. I wonder if the dogs hit on any waders. Eddie absolute on confirming those were even Tyler's. It didn't really say that that it hit on the waders. The waders were found on out in the ocean, Miranda. About 2.5 miles offshore in front of Holden Beach, Sunset Beach area, kind of out in that area. And where the dogs hit was actually next to the jetty. And there were no waders or any of his decoys or any of that stuff seen at that time. So, because that stuff had already been picked up at that point. The shells are heavy. It would take some bad waves for over several minutes for the shells to fall out. Very interesting. Sam says those waders they found were new, and he bought them a few weeks before the incident. He had several pair and always wanted more. That is interesting. That is interesting. Well, I mean, I guess one can never have, I don't know. My husband only has one pair, so, but everybody's different, I guess. It's possible, Sherry. We don't know all the answers to some of this stuff, you know? I don't really know, Dawn. I'd never really considered it until some of this other stuff came out, that there was a chance, especially with the boat that was following Shay and New Start Homestead around the day that they found the waiters. I think that's kind of what set the tone, that all of that was just very uncomfortable. Because it does look some type of way. If you find stuff out in the ocean and you don't report it to law enforcement or give the decoys over, or you're out following the family around, are you looking for Tyler or are you watching the family? I don't know.
Well, I don't think that they were. I don't think they were looking for Tyler.
I don't either. Now you're fixed. Yay.
That's why I dropped out and was like, let me just drop out and come back in.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a technical issue. So
are y'all ready for this?
all right, tell us.
Well, okay, so usually I like to have like backup of anything. So I try to make sure I can get that before I move forward. But the reason I'm going to go ahead and bring this out is because there's enough to me that points to something really being off. Not that we don't already know that everything about Ronnie Floyd is off. So I get a phone call yesterday through Facebook. And I did tell this person that I would not mention their name, although they do know that I'm going to be sending it over to you, Dutchess. And then you can do how you want to do with that. Because enough of it's going to come out that their name's not going to need to be mentioned. Has anybody noticed that Christian's name is spelled wrong on that one phone log? The one that's typed up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, one of my admins also pointed out today that it's also put in military time. Let's face it. Christian Holden I don't see is going to be typing military time. So that is why I'm going to bring up this phone call, because I wasn't going to, but now I'm kind of believing it. So I was told that they will get Christian to come talk to us, but Christian did not give those phone records to Ronnie Floyd. That is not the records that he gave. And I did explain that I need to hear that from him. So he needs to reach out to me or you. But this person is saying that that is not the records that he gave to Ronnie Floyd. So my question is, if Christian comes forward and says that that's not the records he gave to Ronnie Floyd, who's that on? Because if you look in Ronnie Floyd's report, he does type military time. Interesting, right?
Well, somebody had to make that.
Somebody not only had to make it up, but somebody had to do it in a way to where it would definitely look like it was Christian. But then I can't, for the life of me, figure out what would be his reason for that. It makes no sense to me. But I don't think that both of them records came from Christian. I believe that one of the records came from somebody else. And I believe they want everybody to believe they came from Christian, because think about it. Christian is who spells his name AIN. But Christian wouldn't be writing military time, which is how that one form is typed up. It's spelled his name, but it's AIN, and it's typed in military time. If you read Ronnie Floyd's report, he types Christian's name IAN all the time through his report. I don't think both of those items came from the same person. Unless they deliberately made it look like that.
Interesting. Hay flies on the coleslaw. Thank you for being here. Yeah, see, and Brad said he never even seen them, so
oh, they're in the Google Drive. I can send them over to you real quick. The typed list is what gets me, because it says that the phone call for 27 minutes started at 6:17. I mean at 4:17. No, it didn't. It started at 4:15.
What started at 4:15?
The 27-minute phone call.
Oh, the
Between
27-minute.
Yeah, between him and Tyler. That didn't start at 4, because it says 16:17 on that typed form. But if you look at Christian's bill, it says 16. Well, it actually says the actual time, 16:15. But who talks to somebody for 27 minutes while the boat's sinking?
None of that makes any sense. Like, I don't know. Maybe that was the time when Tyler was saying the boat's going down, but I need to try to save the boat. I don't
Okay,
know.
let's analyze that, because that could very. I agree that Tyler, from what I can tell, I think Tyler thought he could do just about anything, from racing a boat to racing a car. I think he probably would have thought that he could save his boat, and he might have even, tried to stay with it for as long as he possibly could. But at the same time, Tyler was smart, Dutchess. I've got other videos with him racing that blue boat he made, and he had on a life jacket. If he knew that something was happening, why would he not put that life jacket on? If he took the waders off, the waders were unclipped.
Yeah.
Why would he? The life jackets were there to put on. And why is it being said by Ronnie Floyd that Davis Pandur called Coast Guard? Because he couldn't have.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense.
You guys have a lot of interesting comments. The military time did get me. Is he protecting Dylan? I don't know. Like, all of these are things that we don't have the answers to. But it sure
Which
would be
is why
good to
we
know.
need to do a billboard, because I've emailed until my fingers hurt. The director's not emailed me back. He's not even responded, and I feel like that we are sitting in quicksand. We know that there's something not right. Whether we ever find out what really happened to Tyler in that water, I don't know. But we know one thing is for sure, and that's DNR messed up, and they messed up really bad.
Hope Prince says, I believe he did not think things were going to go as they did. Instead of holding on, he was calling people. He just did not believe it was going to go that way. That was one of my first impressions too, is that I know that he cared about the things that belonged to him, and I think he might have wanted to try to save the boat. And putting that before saving his own life, because I don't think he thought it was going to be a critical situation. Because just like many people have said, well, the jetty was just right there. He could have just swam to the rocks. He's a strong swimmer. But Brad and I talked about this. Like, you don't know what's going to happen out there when you get in a crisis situation like that. You can play it out in your mind what you think's going to happen, and then you could be surprised by something you didn't expect. That can happen. So it's still possible. That's why we need to have all of the factual information so that we know exactly what happened. But when you have these phone call records and things that weren't truly investigated, dives that never happened, it causes people to have a lot of questions because things were not handled appropriately. And that's a big concern. That is a big concern. I don't know, Becky. I don't know. I really just I really just thought maybe that eventually, once all the dust settled, I really thought maybe Christian would come forward and just, share his story. Because I felt like that once we all heard it from him, then we would just breathe a sigh of relief because, you know, we would get to hear all the things and it would make sense. And that never happened.
Which is why I really want to do a billboard to the DNR.
Well, I told you I'd help you design it. You just tell me what you wanted to say, and I can make it happen.
Let's get to working on that if we can, Dutchess. Because I'll take full responsibility for it. I have no problem with that. And I get that it would be hard for somebody around the area because I don't know who these people are if they're going to try to make life hard. That's why I was so iffy about doing the bumper stickers, because I don't want people getting pulled over and harassed just because of a bumper sticker or something they have on their car. So I'll take responsibility for the billboard.
Yeah.
But that is the best pressure ever, I think.
I agree. So what I did was I made a little video. I went to 53rd Avenue today, and I took a video, and I want to show you guys what I found. It's very interesting. So let's take a quick look at this video.
Wait, is that a camera?
I believe it is, but we're going to see here.
What the?
Okay, guys, we are at 53rd. As promised, I'm going to come check the cameras, or 4 cameras. Could somebody have put their boat in at 53rd and gone out? Well, you know, they would have to go out to Hog Inlet to get to the jetty. They would have to go out into the ocean. So we're going to check it out. I mean, I've been down here a bunch of times, and I don't ever recall there being cameras, but we're going to find out. Check out this car coming.
That's an old Corvette, it looks like.
It sure does. Nice. Nice.
57, 58, 59, somewhere along in there.
Beautiful. Okay, so here.
58. It's a 58.
That was nice. Okay. So here we are. And the Duke is going to drive me on down here, and I'm going to get out for a minute, and we're going to check it out. Oh, look, there's a Kivo dog over there. I miss Kivo. Mom and I used to come down here crabbing all the time off this little pier. So let's
There's
see.
a Wi-Fi signal. That could be a camera right there on the lower part.
Let's see.
Because the lights are up there.
Yeah, and see, we don't have none of those cameras at our landing. So let's check it out. Well, don't obstruct the dock. And that's new. That didn't used to be there. Of course, I hadn't been out here crabbing in quite some time with Mama. Well, there it is. It actually looks like a camera in North Myrtle Beach.
OMG.
That you would get one of those if you ran a red light and it gives you a ticket. That's what it looks like. I tried to get the name off of it, but I couldn't get my camera to zoom in on it good enough to get the name, because it's around the backside. It's like faded on there, but
if you give me the cross streets, Dutchess, I can find out who runs the camera.
It's at it's just the 53rd Avenue boat landing.
Okay, I can find out.
I mean, I'm assuming it's the DNR that has it.
That's what if it's at the boat landing, that's what I would think. But then
Yeah.
I'm not even going to ask why would they not utilize things like that, because I remember what you read. Have you read that to the group? What you read to me last night about the resources and things they're supposed to utilize? I found that very interesting.
Yeah, I can.
That was really interesting, and I was thinking about that. Like, they didn't do any of that.
Yeah, let's finish this video, and then I'll go over it and I'll share it with everybody. Is that a camera? Maybe. Brad says it's a high definition camera. The sun is definitely in the way. We need that at our boat landing. The sad part is that it's been 9 months, and any footage that could have been taken of anybody getting in this boat landing would probably not be accessible at this point. What's your thoughts on that? You think that they keep digital evidence 9 months out?
Well, I think it depends on if it's DNR's camera or not. If it's DNR's camera, I would say they just might.
Well, it's DNR's maintained boat landing because their name is on the sign. What's interesting is that at Johnny Causey and at T. Craig Campbell, there ain't one single camera out there. Not one. Not one. There never has been. And there's no, you guys have no idea about the people that come out there, the people that use drugs at 3 a.m., leave all their syringes out there. I mean, you never know when a crime is going to be committed. That's a public boat landing. They should have cameras like that at every landing.
And that's in your backyard, right?
Yeah, T. Craig Campbell's in my backyard.
Oh my goodness. I'd lose my cool.
Yeah, one of the things that I do, I have a friend that he actually helped me coordinate the North Myrtle Beach and Horry County Police to come out for the prayer vigil. Super nice guy, Corey Delina. He's an officer, and sometimes he'll meet me, and there's another guy that'll meet me out when I call. I have a biohazard box. I have a bunch of them, and I'll go out there every few weeks and during the summertime especially, and pick up syringes at the boat landing because the kids that are out there. Do you think that DNR or anybody comes around there to clean up around there? Oh, no. Oh, no. I will collect a whole biohazard box full, and then I'll just call them, and they'll meet me out there, and I'll turn it over to them to dispose of them. And they are always so kind. Been doing that since I've bought this house. It's just one of the things I do in this community because there are so many kids that run around out there barefooted. What if your child was to step on one of those needles? And I'm not just talking about one or two, y'all. Yes, that is where Tyler put his boat in at Christina. Yes. Oh, I see. I can look out my kitchen window and see the whole boat landing. I'll see them out there at 3 a.m. I mean, sometimes I've had to call the popo on them. I've seen all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, my neighbor even shot a guy, but God rest his soul. That guy that did that, my neighbor, he passed away. He had dementia. He shot a guy in the water in front of his house that was on a boat fishing at midnight. And he said he thought he was on his property, but he wasn't. He was actually out in the water. And my husband knows the guy that got shot. And that guy only lives like 4 or 5 houses down from me. And y'all, I thought, I was like, no, there's no way. There was a manhunt on for him. And it turns out it was my neighbor that did it. You just don't know. You just don't know what could happen in your community. Yeah, not at Cherry Grove, at the T. Craig Campbell, but I assure you, Julianne, if they're out at my boat landing, they're out at that boat landing too. I guarantee it. Because that's what they do. They go to these places, and these places don't get locked down at night. I've seen them arrest a ton of people over here, because if they happen to be riding through and they see people out there, they'll check on them. But they don't always catch them, That's why I tell people to be cautious.
Well, Dutchess, I gotta praise you for going out there and doing that, because I'm telling you, I would have to move. I am, first of all, I am so scared of this whole fentanyl phase going on with these needles and all of that, and instantly killing people. I give you much respect, because there is no way. I just have to move. I'd be scared to death.
I mean, it's everywhere. I mean, down here in Myrtle Beach, these people come on vacation, and I think they just, I don't know, I think some people come here and they just don't think they have to, abide by the law. They're like, hey, I'm on vacation. I'm here to turn up and do whatever the hell I want to do. I really don't know, but there's a huge drug problem here in this area, and there's a huge homeless problem in this area. And it's, it's just one way that I can help keep my community safe. And that's why I have been trying to push at the city council meetings to get a camera out there. And I'm really upset that Cherry Grove has one and we still don't have one over here. So yeah, the camera is not where Tyler launched. Tyler launched behind my house at T. Craig Campbell, and there is no camera here. And I did try to collect footage, Kevin, from all up and down, from my neighbors right next to the boat landing that are right on the water in front of my house. And even from Archie's, like within 10 days, their footage automatically turns over and it just records over. So, Matthew, this is my channel, and I talk about whatever I want to. And if you don't like it, you can exit the building, or I will have one of my moderators to help you.
Okay, I must have missed his comment.
Matthew said, is this about Tyler, or is this about junkies? This is about, we're talking about the boat landings and why cameras are important. And that was my example of one of the reasons I think that our boat landings need to have cameras. And had they put a camera out here, because of all the times I have been to the meetings, because of that reason alone, there would have been a camera out there that might have seen Tyler leaving that boat landing. So sit the fuck down, Matthew, okay?
Yeah, I'm glad you just said that, because I was about to interrupt you. Because, see, here's the thing. I just had somebody pull that same shit on me on the group the other day. Let me tell y'all something. Don't nobody tell nobody what to post, where to post. She had a point. She was talking about we would have been able to solve a bunch of this if the cameras would have been there. Shut the hell up with that. What is this about? She can say whatever the hell she wants. Don't get me started, because it's going to be all bad.
People just got to have something to say. Now, Carol Boyd, I see she just came in. Hey, Carol. She said, I have to say, in Ronnie Floyd's defense, he does come from a very good family. And I don't know Ronnie to say anything about him. His dad was an Horry County police officer who died in the line of duty. Yes, we all know that, Carol. Yes,
I heard his dad was a damn good cop.
Yes.
Was a damn good cop. But that has nothing to do with Ronnie Floyd because he was a gym teacher first. So let's not pretend like he was trying to follow in Daddy's footsteps.
That's how he actually got on the DNR, I think, is because his daddy was in law enforcement. Because your military experience, you're supposed to have military police experience if you're National Guard. And I don't think he was military police in the National
No, he
Guard.
was not. He was National Guard and he was not military. He wasn't an MP at all.
I know you do, Carol. She says, I'm still Tyler's great aunt and I want justice for him. I know you do, sweetie. And we appreciate you being here. You know, we just want there to be transparency, and all of this needs to make sense about, you know, these copied phone records. These, I mean, obviously they are not the original phone records. You know, Shay and Brian want to have a conversation with CH about what happened that day, and his unwillingness to do so has, you know, been a source of concern for them because they just really want to be able to help find closure with this. Brian is really struggling. This has been very hard for him, guys. And I just want the family to get the answers that they deserve. And if they are willing to say, hey, if everything turns out that nobody did anything to Tyler and something did happen to his boat, like, we just want CH to tell us everything that happened. You know, when we ask about what happened that day, to be met with such disrespect and be called names and be cussed at and be vilified for trying to just have an understanding about what transpired that day is uncalled for and should have never happened.
Okay, Duchess, let's do this. Let's start at the starting point. First of all, I have never once, not once, heard Shay or Brian say that they absolutely know that there's no way in the world that Tyler drowned out there. I've never heard that said. They, I believe, are fully willing to accept what it may come. But let's be honest here. The first pieces of evidence, the same evidence that Ronnie Floyd based his no foul play statement off of, was fraudulent, fake, altered. Doesn't matter who altered it. I don't care if it was Christian Holden or if it was Ronnie Floyd himself. The fact remains it was altered. How do you have one starting point of evidence and that very first thing is, we know, incorrect, and then expect everybody to believe your statement of no foul play and not question it? I am so tired of seeing this family get reamed and people saying, oh, it was just an accident. Why are they dragging this out? Do y'all really think they want to drag this out? Because I don't. I don't see that when I see Shay Boyd get up there and bawl her eyes out. I don't see that when I hear that Brian is having such a tough time struggling. I don't see anything good about the attention that they've gotten out of this whole entire case. Why would they want to drag it out? The fact remains, its stuff is not answered. Period.
Lolly, he put in at the T. Craig Campbell boat landing. That is where his truck was parked, which is likely why CH had his keys, because Tyler would have been in the boat and CH would have been backing the boat into the water so Tyler could be in the boat, you know, when it was in the water, so he could make sure, you know, to stay in the boat, while CH went to go park the truck at T. Craig Campbell, and that is in Little River. That is actually in my backyard. We have a neighborhood that's separated by a fence, of course, but the boat landing, you know, you can see it from my back window. The reason that I showed the video is because John here was asking if I knew if there was any cameras at the landings here, because obviously at T. Craig Campbell and the boat landing directly across from T. Craig Campbell under the overpass over the Intercoastal Waterway, that is Johnny Causey across the waterway beside of Archie's Bar and Grill. Neither one of those have cameras. There are no cameras at on the water at Windjammer, but Windjammer just got a brand new boat landing remake over. So I have not been back out into Windjammer. It is a gated neighborhood, and I have not been back out there since they actually, which after Wings of Hope left and all of that, they actually tore up that boat landing and redid a lot of things out there. I don't know if cameras have been added out there since then, but there were no cameras out there before that I was aware of. And I have been out to the Windjammer private boat landing where CH was brought and where Shay and Reed and Brian went that night thinking that was Tyler. There was no camera there. And so John had basically said, well, what if somebody had another boat, and where would be the nearest landing they would put in? And of course, the nearest landing I could think of was Windjammer, of course. And then he said, well, what about in Hog Inlet? The closest landing there would be on 53rd Avenue. I wonder if they have cameras. And that's actually what brought about this conversation about where the cameras are. So it's very interesting, John, that you tell me that there's cameras at all the landings in Socastee and at all the landings in Waccamaw that's connected to the waterway. And I've actually videoed out there at my own landing in my backyard before, and there are no cameras. And the Doyles can speak to that because they were out there for 2 months every single day. And there are no cameras. And I just think that it's wrong for the safety of the community, because you never know what can happen at the boat landing that might need to have that footage pulled. Hey, did you have to drop? Or did you get kicked out?
I think I kicked myself out. So this is the first time that I've used my tablet. And yeah, I think I
Okay.
just stick to using my computer.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that video was actually for John because there used to not be a camera there. So I'm not sure how long that's been up there. Mama and I used to go crabbing there a lot when I was younger, like in my teens and 20s. But see, I mean, I'm going to be 50 come January. So, I mean, it's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. I don't go over there because I live on this side. I have my own dock in my neighborhood. I don't need to go over there. If I'm going to put in at the boat landing, I'm going to go in my backyard. I'm not going to go all the way over to Cherry Grove. So, it's been a while since I've been out there. But it does say that the landing is monitored and, that it's under the direction of the South Carolina DNR. So I feel 100% sure that is who is holding the information. And if you think for 5 seconds they went on there and looked to see if Tyler Doyle actually got in the boat at that boat landing and went down the waterway, I would love for them to come and tell me they did that and show it to me. Still waiting on the SD card. I don't know, Brad, have you heard anything from DNR? I don't know if you want to respond to that. You don't have to. Hey, Tony Hardy. It's good to see you. I hope you're good.
Which reminds me, Dutchess, I'm going to log in from my laptop real quick because I wanted to show you something.
Okay. Yeah, just drop and just come back.
Okay.
I'm going to go through some of these comments. So Miss AJ is going to get some stuff together and she'll be back here in a minute. Agree, Angelina. Thank you so much for being here. It's good to see you. Yeah, they just wanted answers. And Brad, I really appreciate you being here because, listen, brother. Ronnie Floyd saying what he said in that email to Michelle on my behalf. I mean, that's defamation of not just your personal character, Brad, but it's also defamation of your team and your business, your 501c3, where you go out and help people. Like, that's going to get out there. And that's dirty. That is so dirty. I just hope and pray that you will stand up to him, because I promise you, you will have an army standing behind you. I promise you. Hey, AJ.
So, speaking of Brad, I just want to make sure that we're clear on, which I kind of know, but I would just want to be real sure. The image was never dived upon, correct? By anybody, any party. Is that how you understood it, Duchess?
Matthew, you can comment now, but please don't be disrespectful. You know, if you had been listening to the entire conversation, you would have understood that it was about the importance of the camera. I'm a local here, and I'm going to speak on what I need to speak on. So if you can be here and be respectful, I just want us to have an understanding. Like, I don't have any problem with you being here. Okay, I'm sorry about that, AJ. I did not mean to have to
No, I understand. Totally.
Okay, I just wanted to clear the air on that. You thought there was on the little blue building at Windjammer? Well, you know, I was told those cameras didn't work, but see, they redid all of they had like this whole facelift on that area, and they might have redone the cameras and everything, because I was told that those cameras didn't work by someone who lived there, someone who still lives there. So I don't know if there was a problem with the camera system, but they just were in the process of upgrading and changing all that. They built this whole new pier deck thing out there, and they redid all of the pavement and stuff right there where the boat landing, where you back your boat in. I mean, they redid all of that. So is the camera working now? Like, I don't know. I haven't been back out there, but well, and across the waterway, and I'm sure there's other landings where there's not cameras on. So I can't explain it. We have actually asked for them when we've gone to meet with for our count, like when the county commissioner has their meetings. And I will be continuing to ask for those. So it's been up there a few years. Cherry Grove has that nice big bathroom and washing station, so a lot of drug use out there. I think that's how it is at a lot of landings, and that's just from what, Lieutenant Corey and I've talked about. So that's how it is no matter where you live. Like, you need to be looking out for, not just people that come down there to visit, but like, I'm always keeping an eye out. There's always something happening, and whether you're a local in my community or whether you're just here on vacation, like, I care about people. And if you're going to be at my boat landing, then I'm probably going to be looking out for you too, because that's how we are. We're a close-knit community here, and we look out for each other.
I tried to do an overlay, Duchess, of those two photos, but the sizes are so different where the dogs hit that it's kind of hard to actually do an overlay. So I did the best that I could, and those dogs hit within inches of each other, both of them.
Okay, so there's apparently, let's see. Hope Prince, the family knows what was said. Okay, hang on. Let's see. So you're saying I should know what that he said that night other family members do. You're talking about CH? Because, that conversation was only about 5 minutes, and they told him that they were not going to allow the family to interrogate or ask questions to CH. And so they were told that they couldn't talk to him. And then Shay tried to get more answers from CH that night. And she didn't get any answers. And then he left. And he has not spoken to Shay or Brian. If he's spoken to Reed, I can't speak on that, because if Reed wants to come up here and talk to me about it, then he can. But I can speak for Brian and Shay that after that night, that very limited conversation in which he gave this very unemotional, statement about what happened, and we have all sat down face to face and discussed this at length.
Wait, hold on. Miss Hope Prince, I want to know what makes you think that he told the family what happened, because I can tell you exactly what his response was. Because at the time that he was giving it is when the second boat pulled up, and you hear Shay has said many times that they thought Tyler was going to be on that boat. I can tell you right now, his answer to her was not only short and curt, but it was extremely nonchalant. And then the very next day, and Dutchess, I know you can vouch for this, when another family member tried to phone CH to get the area, the location of where he last seen Tyler, they were told that his son isn't talking to no damn body. So I want to know what information you have that we don't have.
They tried to talk to him,
I know.
but there wasn't anything that he wasn't willing to, they weren't able to ask him all the things that they want to know, to ask him all the questions.
In fact, he started his sentence
So
off with the word.
that's why when I say they haven't ever talked to Christian Holden, it's because they did try that night, but that's not how it happened. They
No.
did try, but it never happened.
He
And then
started his
after
first
that,
sentence off
he would
with,
never speak.
yeah, and he started his first sentence off with, "I'll tell you like I told everybody else," which to me is just damn rude.
The racetrack has nothing to do with this, Shannon. In my opinion. That's just my opinion. I don't think it does. But if anybody has evidence, that's what we need. I know we have
Definitely.
evidence of that there's been some type of misconduct.
And that's where my focus is.
And that's, the gathering of the information behind the scenes, that's all being passed on.
Wait. I'm sorry. No disrespect. Can we go to Matthew Pons? Who was there searching? I'm so lost. Rode his boat, walked everywhere he could be searching for him. I'm so confused.
Let me go down here on the comments.
Yes, Hope, you're correct.
I'm still getting down here. I'm behind. Is this the comment you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm confused on.
A lot of us have searched, Matthew. A lot of
whose
us have
boat?
been out on boats. I've been out on jet skis. We have. It's just so exhausting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize, Matthew. I thought you were saying that I read it wrong. My bad. I thought you were saying Christian had been out on boats. I was completely off, and I apologize.
Sorry, Matthew. It took me a minute to get through some of these comments because I didn't want to miss anything that.
I just want everybody to know, you guys, Dutchess puts more time into this than I thought. I mean, I thought I put a lot of time in. Dutchess puts more time in than she's got me beat by far. Like late
No.
hours. Yes, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. When you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're trying to say, "Hey, have you seen this?" Yeah, actually, you do. And I commend you for it. I commend you for it.
If I can't sleep, I'm just like, sometimes I can't. If I can't sleep, I have to work all the theories out and see all of the things. And then I have to just lay there and ponder on it till I fall asleep. Because if something's left undone before I can lay my head down, then I have to do it. I have to look into it, and I see all of your emails and I appreciate them. I see all of your tips and information and I appreciate it. And all of those things are passed on to AJ and to the family. So, it's not like I don't let them know, and they are very appreciative and they appreciate your support.
Definitely.
They just want to find the truth, whatever that looks like. And they want the people investigating this case to be held accountable for not doing the job. And I'm going to read to you this little excerpt that I had told, which is why I had Shay originally reach out to SLED, because when Ronnie Floyd looked me in the face after Shay had asked him, and she had made that call with Brian to Horry County Police Department to try to get a missing persons report, because I told her he needed to be in NamUs, with a missing persons number, etc. And she said, well, nobody is helping me get a missing persons report. And I said, you can get one in 24 hours. I said, Ronnie Floyd just don't want to do his damn job. And I said, but you have got to fight and be Tyler's voice. That we had a long conversation about it. That's how all of this began. I said, because if you quit talking about Tyler, they will forget about him, because that's what they
And
want
that's
you to
the
do.
truth. Yep,
They want you
that's
just
the
to be
truth.
like, he drowned and we don't have any answers and you're just going to have to deal with it. And that's not acceptable, because really, now that we have really looked thoroughly into this, I was already seeing red flags. I'd already let her know that even though I hadn't spoken out about some of the red flags I was seeing, because I didn't want to make anyone be on high alert. But I said, Shay, this is, I got concerns, and this doesn't add up. This is not, when I went to school and took my classes in criminology, I was like, this is not how it's done. This is not how basic law enforcement training goes. This is not protocols. It's not good. And I said, if you don't stand up and say something, I said, it's going to happen to somebody else. And then it's going to happen to somebody else. And it's that burden that family's going to have to bear, the burden that you're bearing right now. So when I say that we were fighting for Tyler Doyle, which was the first group, that we were in, that I was in, that's where that came from. Because they just want answers, but it seems like nobody wants to give them.
The thing that scares me is, I don't know if everybody else is aware, but DNR has had several lawsuits against them for mishandling an investigation. Like, who all has anything happened to where DNR has been able to just, and maybe not even Ronnie Floyd, just any DNR officer has been able to just give that excuse, oh, they drowned, and the family not really look into it, because you're supposed to be able to trust your fellow law enforcement for sure. And really, there was more to it. I mean, when does it stop? The down to the piece of Word document that Floyd wrote his statement on, which is not no department letterhead, no department form. It's not signed off by his chain of command. None of that. Like, it has to stop. The family wouldn't be worrying and wondering the way that they are had they did their job. So no matter if we focus on Christian, no matter if we focus on other people, Lakeland, whoever, it doesn't change the fact it all comes down to DNR. It was their responsibility to do the right thing, and they didn't.
Right. That was one of my, that's the first thing that I told Shay. I was like, this is misconduct. This is not how you carry out an investigation. This is all wrong. Like, they should have let you file a missing persons report, because I wanted to make a missing persons flyer, because that's what I do, guys. People reach out to me all the time. When I'm not here, I'm making missing flyers for other creators and people's families who reach out to me. If my loved one's missing and here's their information in a picture, would you make me a flyer? And I do that free of charge. And how I'm able to do that is because of the people who are members here. I donate my time, and I have all of these apps that I pay for, and people who have memberships here, that money, that's what that's spent for. It helps me to be able to make missing flyers for other people. And I wanted to do that, but I needed him to have a NamUs number. And so I said, here's what you're going to need to do, Shay. You're going to have to get the ball rolling and call Ronnie Floyd out on his shit. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to reach out to this missing persons advocate. And I gave Shay her name and phone number. And I said, because they have a set of laws. Okay. And I said, and I've had people send me this exact screenshot just recently. I think Dawn actually sent me some stuff, and I was like, this is the exact thing. And if Shay was here, she would tell you. I told her, I said, they have this whole protocol. It's like, I think it's 23-350 or something. You know, there's this section, you know, about missing persons in SLED. And, you know, it reads that local law enforcement agencies shall make use of all available tools, resources, and technologies available as applicable to resolve a missing persons case. This includes assistance from other law enforcement agencies, whether at a local, state, or federal level, nonprofit search and rescue organizations, which may provide at no charge trained animal searches, use of specialized equipment and man trackers, services provided by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children and other qualified organizations, cell phone triangulation and tracking, and subpoena of cell phone, landline, internet, email, and social networking website records, and technology experts to examine any available information gleaned from a computer belonging to or used by the missing person. I sent Shay this entire section and explained to her that this is why you have to call this lady. And she did. In fact, they spoke 2 or 3 times.
You know what gets me, Duchess? 2 weeks prior to Tyler going missing, DNR utilized the new hardware that they had received because a man called and said that his dad went hunting and that he was out too late. They literally typed the man's phone number into this new device that they have and gave the son the coordinates to find his dad over the phone. They didn't even try any of that with Tyler. None of it.
Brad, Dutchess and AJ bust their ass on this stuff. If I go missing, I want them to fight for me. You know we will.
Oh, definitely.
Because, I tried to call in Michel Galliot. He's French. That is a man, but his name is Michel. And it's because he's French. I guess that's French for Michael. But he trains HRD dogs for Richland County. And he was one of the guys that I had his cell phone number that they were supposed to call and invite another law enforcement agency that was willing to come and help, and they wouldn't even invite them. Plus 2 other search and rescue organizations that were volunteering to come, and they wouldn't come. See, I called Texas EquiSearch, and they said that they didn't have the manpower and the knowledge to be able to search marshes, because that's what I was looking for. Someone to search Bird Island and all of the marshes, because that's 1,400 acres. And that's what that was for. And I had 3 teams that were willing to come, but they had to be invited. Explain it to me. I'll wait.
I'm sorry.
You've been called out right here. Are you one of my former students? John. Don't go into timeout here in the chat by Carol Boyd. Y'all, that is the
Oh my
sweetest
goodness.
thing ever.
Oh my goodness.
I love this so much. If one of my teachers came in my chat, I would just be, I don't know, I'm blushing and it hasn't even happened, but I just think about my journalism teacher, because I used to write for the school newspaper. Deborah, you did read the same thing on the South Carolina DNR website. Yeah, it does say the same thing there. It sure does.
Well, I know Ronnie Floyd attached a list of things that they tell the detectives that's specifically for them, and they're supposed to check the little box. But of course, none of those boxes are checked because he didn't do nothing that was on that list.
And Dawn, the Civil Air Patrol, that was another one that Brian, he had talked to Aiden about having the military come down there and search. And, that's how I'm sure that's how the Civil Air Patrol came to search. And that happened right at the time of the vigil. And they only came out for just the daylight of one day. And then DNR told them that was it and called the search.
Camshaft, stop it. I can't even believe I'm reading that.
They've already said that earlier in the chat.
I didn't even see that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Y'all be nice now. Listen.
Record.
Y'all be nice.
I knew that. I knew
Everyone
the
is
next question was
welcome
gonna
here
be,
as long
yes,
as they are
absolutely.
respectful.
Yes.
As long as they are respectful, they can be here. That's all we
Absolutely.
ask. Brad says, I've never been on a search. And I was like, damn, we have too much resources. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for saying that right here for everyone in the back, the front, the side, 10
Yep.
states away and over in the UK. Right here. Never has Brad Smith been on a search and was like, damn, we have too many resources here. We're just going to have to stand around, and because there's just 500, it's been said there was 500 boats or something searching.
Well, DNR obviously felt that there was enough out there because, from my understanding, they didn't leave the landing really. And when they did, they didn't even go outside the jetty. I'm still confused on who picked up Christian off the rocks. Was it Horry County or was it Myrtle Beach?
Yeah, because I think that is a discrepancy. I think Ronnie Floyd said that North Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, he got there in 9 minutes.
And they said that Horry County's the one that picked him up?
Well, that's what was said in the beginning, but now when I go back and I read Floyd's statement, he says that the Good Samaritan boat watched NMB, which I'm assuming, I don't live there, so I might be wrong, but I'm assuming that's North Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, North Myrtle Beach they have a police boat
So are
Eh,
him, but they have a police boat, but from my understanding, it was a swimmer that jumped off of the boat, went to Christian, put a PDF around him, and swam back with him. That's how they both became hypothermic. So I'm just all confused. Was it Horry County that got there in 9 minutes, or was it North Myrtle Beach?
See, I would have to assume that it would be Horry County because they have a boat for rescue. And
The new one they
the
just got
Horry
that
County
big
Police
giant
doesn't have a
land.
rescue boat. They just have a boat where they're going to woo, 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 pull you for a ticket. So, I mean,
Okay, so now, Duchess, I have a
it's
question
okay,
for you.
Matthew,
You
and
live
you're
right
welcome
there.
to be here, Matthew. It's okay. I'm not going to let anybody harass you. Just as long as you're respectful, you're more than welcome to be here. Go ahead, AJ. I want you to say that, but then I want to ask Matthew a question about the Josh Johnson decoy Battery Island situation.
Okay, I just want to know, because you know the area, you know what it's like out there when that day's weather.
Yes.
Is it possible that Davis Pender, from the location that we were told he was at, is there some type of launch or something right there to where the rescue boats park? Like, I don't know how to explain it. I know back home we have the two little lifeguard dinghy boat things, and they park like in the same spot. But that's it. I don't know if your guys do, because the fact that he says he heard the rescue boat start up and go out, so he thought all would be all right. That just throws me for a loop. How did he hear that boat go out? Is it right beside there where they parked the boats?
No,
See, then I'm really confused.
not that I'm aware of. He was in what? Are you talking about Davis Pander? Heard
Yes,
it?
that's
He
what.
was in Bonaparte Creek. There's not a. The only way he would have heard it is if they were coming down the waterway side and up through the jetty. Because the waterway splits off, and you can go up to Sunset Beach that way through the intercoastal waterway. So unless
Ronnie
Cito
Floyd,
or somebody
exact words.
came down from, because otherwise how would he hear that if he was in a kayak in Bonaparte Creek? He would have to. That's off on the Calabash side, right? That's in North Carolina. So that's
Ronnie
where
Floyd's
Cito is.
exact
Cito's in
words.
Ocean Isle.
Ronnie Floyd's exact words after he says that the call only lasted 18 seconds and Pender does not know who hung up first. He first tried to call Coast Guard, and Coast Guard told them that they had already received the call. He then tried to call a person that owns a boat, and then it says specifically after that he heard the rescue boat headed out and figured all would be all right. That is Ronnie Floyd's words in his own statement. So I was trying to figure out what boat did he hear and how did he hear it? Because on the recording that I have between Ronnie Floyd and Miss Linda, I've looked in that area at where he says Davis was, and I don't see nowhere where he could have heard no boat.
Sandra, thank you for becoming a new member. I appreciate that so very much. Thank you for joining us. I'm so glad to have all the members here tonight. Okay. Thank you so much, Sandra. Yeah, the whole thing has been fishy. That's the only way I can reason with that is they would have to come down the intercoastal waterway, because how else are you going to hear that if you're all the way up in Bonaparte Creek? That
That's
doesn't
why
even make sense to me. Well, Dawn, that's a very good question. I mean, that's something only Ronnie Floyd can answer because he is the person that's in charge of the investigation. But that Barry and his wife and her brother and his wife or something like that, I think were the people on the boat. So that's a very good question. But that's the only person who can answer that. See how we have these limited resources to be able to get the answers. It's that's why a lot of people have questions. But Matthew, I wanted to ask you, is it true about the Battery Island? Because I've been out on the property that Coastal Carolina rents from that little old lady that she owns the battery. She owns all that property. You guys remember when I went out
Hey,
there
I
and was
can't
trying
hear
to,
for some reason.
huh? Do what? Oh, she might have been talking to somebody else. Remember when I went out and I did the video where I was out in the middle of nowhere? But then I ended up walking out and you could see the jetty, but it was really far away. And I was like, see, you can't walk to the South Jetty because you have to cross all of these parts of the marsh and stuff. There was like that little building. Somebody asked me if I looked in it. And of course I looked in it. I mean, there was nothing out there. So, but there's a lady that's where they have the horseback riding. That's at the end of Little River Neck Road. It dead ends into all of her property. So, Kevin, welcome to members. Thank you so very much. I'll play you a song here in a minute. Because I have ADHD, and if I don't finish this thought, I'll forget. But I wanted to tell you about that because that is called the Battery. So, Battery Island is this little place that's right out in front of that. Okay. And I looked out there. I mean, I looked as far as I could see to see if I could see anything. And it was low tide. You could see a lot of oyster beds and stuff out there. You wouldn't want to get out there in your bare feet, y'all, because you'll cut your feet all to pieces out there. But I heard that y'all saw Josh Johnson out there. Is that true?
Good question.
Oh, you're speaking of the one in Southport. Okay, because see, that's the Battery. And I thought you were talking about the Battery as in the Intercoastal Waterway Battery, because there is the Battery right there, and there's like these little islands that are around it, and that's where I thought you were talking about. And I thought I just wanted to clarify because that really caught my attention. Good night, Brad.
Night, Brad.
Take care.
Aw.
Let me know if you hear anything about your card. We're thinking of you.
We could ask that on the billboard too, Dutchess. Where's the SD card?
You are too much. Yeah, it is very swampy. It's like the quicksand of the South, the marsh is. And there's a lot of acres out there, which is why I had these specific search and rescue teams that have experience searching the marsh. And I needed Michelle Galliot because he has a lot of HRD dogs. A lot. Because that's what he does. He trains them. And they didn't even utilize that to help out Brad while he was in the water. Leads for a lot of questions. So, thank you for clarifying the location on that. So, what happened with this decoy? You did search where the battery was? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I know where the one is in North Carolina, but I just wasn't sure because I honestly don't know. And I said it from the very beginning. And I'd confirmed with Brad if he thought the same thing. And he said he confirmed that he did not ever think that Tyler would be up there that far. So, I don't know much for the decoys. They weren't allowed to know where the decoys were found, that who found the decoys. They were never turned over to South Carolina DNR. And Brad wanted to know about all of that because he wanted the coordinates of where each of those were found, because he could study the currents and maybe have a better understanding about how those things got there. But none of that was given to law enforcement. So, I mean, how can you do a proper investigation if you're not going to follow the chain of command that's appropriate? You know, it's imperative to do it the right way. And there's obviously that didn't happen with some of these situations. Go ahead, AJ. I'm sorry.
I said because he couldn't get them from Christian, because when Brad called Christian said it wasn't in his best interest to come and show him anything of where Tyler was last seen. Go figure that one.
That's right, Dawn. That's why I had encouraged Shay months ago about calling SLID in hopes that they would call DNR and, kind of light a little fire under them to report Tyler officially missing. And y'all, I mean, I know nobody thought the family was doing anything right off the get-go. I mean, I had so many hateful people sending me messages saying the weirdest stuff. But at that time, the family didn't want me to say anything. But we were hard on him for the first 2 months, like from the get-go. I mean, it's been a battle from day one. Just because the family didn't speak about it doesn't mean that they weren't trying to do everything that they could. And I just want to make sure people know that.
Because South Carolina actually passed a law in 2017 that actually states that they must take a missing persons report, and they don't even have the 24-hour wait or anything like that. That passed in 2017. As soon as the family said that's what they wanted to do, it should have been done.
Summer, he wasn't in distress. He was actually just walking on the beach, is what Randy Gardner with the Horry County Fire and Rescue told me. He was an elderly man in dark clothing that was walking out near the jetty in the dark by himself in the cold, but didn't have any idea that there was anyone drowning in the water, or there was a boating situation, or that there was anybody on the jetty. How can you be at the jetty and not see Christians standing on the jetty and hear all of that? I don't buy it. But he was not in the surf in distress, just to clarify. They thought that was Tyler that had made it to the beach. But it wasn't. It was an elderly man. No, Deborah, they certainly didn't. Because if you go over there and look, it seems like thank you, Michelle, for this link. Donna says, did y'all see the post from Lakeland asking for people to go search Ocean Isle and Holden Beach to find Tyler? I did not see that personally myself.
Me neither. And I keep seeing people, refer say that, there were screenshots and things like that. And I just want everybody to keep in mind that when this first came out, there was all kinds of screenshots being made up. I mean, there was screenshots of Tyler being found, of Tyler floating on top of the water. So many people just did what they wanted to do for attention and just made stuff up completely, just like the boat that was supposedly Tyler passing. Like, just be mindful that there was so much going around, and there was so much that was said and screenshotted that people actually created and wasn't from the actual person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, can we, Dutchess? First of all, go back to law school, start with elementary and learn how to spell. because you added a deed assist. Second of all, the only part I do believe is that part that Dutchess, because I called Dutchess when I was driving and I had the letter. And
Yeah.
the only part I believe is the part that Dutchess told me, which was that Sellerstown didn't have a post office, because I didn't understand why it came from Sellerstown but had a Whiteville postmark. Other than that, from that whole situation, I don't believe none of that. And let me explain something to you. If Miss Tanner, you are listening, or whoever you are, yeah, that don't stop me, because to get me on defamation, I have to be stating things that are absolutely known without a doubt to be untrue. If I am supposed to trust DNR, which is where the FOIA files came from, then that's not the case. So good luck with that. That's all I can say.
And there you have it. I did see a lot of people speculating on that whole situation, and I don't know. It's wild.
The law district is a form that anybody can go to and pay a service fee. And let me tell you something, it's not a very good one. They got better one. They got the People's Choice, all kinds of things. That one didn't seem too well to me.
That stings.
I'm just calling it like I see it. Because Duchess, did you not receive the same phone logs that I received?
I did.
Were they not the same?
Yes, they were the exact same.
So when DNR is sending us fake FOIA files, which, hey, if that's the case, then we can certainly accept that, because, hey, that just means we can get them for even more. Other than that, miss me with all of that, because it doesn't faze me. I'm going to keep doing what I do, period.
Yeah. Josh Johnson said he had gave a decoy to Michelle. Can you tell us if that is true? Sorry for calling you out, but this is for Tyler. Battery Allen had no decoy or love sign. Josh got there after I was there. I walked that entire island around and across. That's
What?
interesting.
Woo! I have photos of this man actually being on the island hunting, doing exactly what he says, and I have no reason not to believe that he's being truthful. None at all.
Well, I have made it very clear that if JJ wants to come up and tell us his story, and he can do it without calling me a clown, and act like an adult, we'd love to hear it. Because I can't make sense of that.
His reaction response to Shay was just absolutely uncalled for and disrespectful. There's no other way to put that.
A body will not stay at the bottom of the ocean until 30 feet of water. I don't think the water is that deep where the boat went down. Brad could tell you how deep the water is, but he's not here. He just left. I mean, I could try to look it up to see about what the approximate location is. I really need to get with Chris Tucker of Zito to find out, because there's places there that are like 5 and 6 and 7 feet deep. And then it drops to like 36 feet. And then it'll come back up. There's a sandbar out there. There's lots of, as Danny Jewell, if you heard the Danny Jewell phone call live, he said there's pockets. He said he knows that waterway like his driveway. He said, I know every nook and cranny. I know the bottom. I've been out in that water. And he said, and I'm here to tell you, there's pockets, holes, where it's shallow. There are just these holes that just occur unnaturally on the bottom, and things get wedged and stuck down in there. and he thinks that that's where he said he thinks that's where he is. And if he's in that pocket, he said he'll never come out of there. That's where that's where he would be. That's why he wanted to drag. But they wouldn't let him. So I thought that was interesting about the pockets, because I didn't know anything about that. And I wouldn't have if I hadn't had talked to Danny. So Danny, thank you for that very important conversation.
Don Allen, I think you're right, but I'm going to let Dutchess address that. I'm not a cold-hearted person. I made a comment about it in the group. But I also don't want too much of the focus. I mean, I hate to see anybody go through that, because I know how my nephew felt when his mom passed away. And I do, the cancer thing is just evil all around. And I'm not a cold-hearted person. Doesn't mean that I have to like how Josh reacted to this situation, but I do respect the fact that that is a human being and that is his mother, and times are going to be hard for him coming.
Hey, Chase and Justice. I'm so glad to see you, sweetie. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I know, Adrian. Let me get down here in the comments. Let's see. Yeah, he did say that that wasn't his decoys. He sure did. Thank you for being here, Simply. It's good to see you again.
I'm sorry, I just now seen that screen name. I love it. I love that.
I see Simply in a lot of different chats on YouTube.
I love that. Good
Me
one.
too. Me too. Dawn, it makes me sad because, my mom has cancer. And I was very sad to hear that. And I think it's only appropriate to have a moment of silence for Josh Johnson's mother. If y'all could just put some hearts and prayer hands in the chat. Thank you. Thank y'all so much. Josh, you're in our prayers. And I'm so sorry that you have lost your mom. I can't imagine what you're going through, because I'm scared and nervous about losing my own mom. So I'm very sorry for your loss. It's okay, Donna. Yeah, she has lung cancer. She had radiation. That's why she's not doing good. That radiation is rough, y'all. So y'all, please pray.
Definitely. And that leads me back to the Dutchess. I don't even know how you do it. You deal with that. You deal with this case. You deal with all the other cases. Like, I get more and more just in shock the more I hear, because I didn't know about your mother until you had said something last night. Like, you deal with a lot. A lot. I don't know how you do it, but I'm glad you do.
Thank you. Y'all are the reason that I can do it. And it kind of takes my mind off of the stress of things. And sometimes I'm not always here or live every day. And it's just because I have my mom and dad to worry about, you know, and I'm on the phone with them and their doctors and just trying to get everything situated for them. And it's hard. It's hard, you know, and I see a lot of the stress that is going on with a lot of other people that have YouTube channels. You know, we all have real lives, and I think some people, the hate is so bad. People just find reasons to attack people, make up lies about them, assassinate their character, say they're in a pedo ring, or I mean, I've heard it all this week. It is the most craziest, mindless bullshit.
In a what ring? What's that?
Yes, in
What do you
a
call it?
a pedo ring.
Oh, what the hell is a
Like
pedo
they're
ring?
saying YouTube creators that are people that I mod for and that I'm a subscriber to are like involved in this. Which is a lie. But I just think that people just try to get the best of other people. And say that's why I don't allow disrespect in here. I want everybody to just try to get along with each other, whether you like somebody or you don't. This world is hard enough as it is, guys. Okay.
Wait, is that what they're talking about? Did it simply
Yes.
oh my
Yes,
God.
Simply knows what I'm talking about. Simply's in all the other chats.
Do y'all understand how that just don't make sense?
It
Are they talking about
doesn't.
you, Dutchess?
Hey, lean on me. Love you so much, darling. Hey, Jennifer. My sweet neighbor. Well, she's not my neighbor now, but we used to be neighbors. I appreciate y'all praying for my mama. Like, she really needs it. Donna, you better go over. Linda's been looking after mama. She goes over and checks on her every day. And I sure do appreciate your sister doing that because I know it means a lot to my mom. And y'all just make sure you tell people that you love them, especially your parents and your kids and your brothers and sisters, your family. I know people don't think blood is always thicker than water, but it don't matter. Like, they're your family.
Tomorrow's not
And
promised to anybody.
and you just never know when it's going to be your time. I mean, we got Israel at war with the Hamas. And I mean, the world it's just on fire right now. The last thing we need is for people to be attacking each other. And like, we just need to really work together to try to find the truth, because that's what this is about. It's not about attacking people in this case. It's not about accusing people of doing something that they didn't. I think it's just that people want to know what the answer is. And really, you know, I would be satisfied if some of these people would just talk to the family. And if it just had to be just that, I'd be okay with that. Because I just want the family to have closure in a way that they're able to just know everything that there is to know. And so they can process it and go through all of those emotions that they need to go through in order to be able to try to make the most of every day that they have left on this earth. Because it's already going to be difficult, but it makes it more difficult when there aren't answers that make any sense. And when you have all of these components with the DNR and not looking like they was really doing an investigation or not allowing to access to all of these resources. And when I read that list of things that I told you that law enforcement is responsible for doing, y'all, they had Miss Linda keeping a list of people who were going to search for Tyler in their boats in the water. They said they were not responsible for keeping up with that Miss Linda had to, every person that was going out there to search for Tyler, she had to get a notebook and keep up with all their names because they're not responsible for that.
I want to know how that came about, Dutchess.
And I'm sorry, but that is wrong.
Absolutely, but I want to know how it came about. Like, did they just
Apparently,
walk up to her and say, "Hey, you're responsible to keep all these names"?
that's pretty much what I was told.
Ooh, Miss Linda, you a better person than me because I would have. Never mind. Her grandson is missing, and that's what they want her to focus on. That disgusts me and it pisses me off, to be honest.
Amber, I can't run down everything that I've that we've talked about because we've been on here for a hot minute. So you're probably going to have to be on the replay gang. If I come in late to a live, I usually just speed it up to like the 1.50 and I listen to the people talk on fast forward until I catch up to where they are in chat. And that's the best I can do. Because it's been a lot. It's been a lot.
Ronnie Floyd royally failed. That's the only thing I can think of.
It really makes me sad that I feel like that not only did they let Tyler down, but they also called Brad a liar. And they also insulted a respected community member, Danny Jewell, a commercial fisherman, and threatened him that if he tried to help this family, that he would incur fines and could possibly lose his fishing license or his boat.
So let me get that straight real quick. Let me take away your ability to work and provide for your family because you have a good heart and you really wanted to be there for this family. Make it make sense. Please, somebody make that make sense.
Yeah, Sandra, he had just been duck hunting. I think he went duck hunting the day before. And he just went duck hunting out on the waterway, out at the jetty just a few days before that with his dad. Yeah. So he had just been duck hunting. Sure had. Hey, Amanda, thank you for becoming a new member. I will play the little members song here. I promise. I feel like I'm missing something up here in chat because I just saw a weird comment from Misty that said, Matthew, go live if you're full of information. Dutchess is always saying anytime anyone wants to go live, then they can request. Yeah, Matthew, if you have stuff that you want to talk about, you can always send me an email at duchessforthemissing@gmail.com, or you can reach out to me on Facebook. And if you would like to come up, the next time that we'll be live will be on Wednesday. Get in touch with me and, we can talk about it. And I'll talk to AJ and just reach out to me. Oh, thank you, Lean on Me. You're so sweet. There was another thing that I wanted to tell y'all about really quickly is my mod, Alpaca Maid, sent me an email. Did you get that link that I sent you in Messenger from Ironclad?
I sure did.
She sent me a link to a video.
Did you
and
get
the
a
name,
chance to watch it, Duchess?
I didn't get a chance to watch all of it. I
Oh,
watched the
you
very
did.
first part of it, and it sounded like it was, it sounded like it was a game warden basically talking about like all he did was hunt these guys that were like illegally growing marijuana. Is that pretty much what I gathered?
I don't think that it's all of it, but from my understanding, it's basically showing what a game warden is supposed to be doing compared to what they're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and that's probably a very centric part. And I thought about playing some of this video for y'all because I thought it might show you an example of what game wardens do in other states, because it is the complete opposite of what happens in this state. And I just wonder how that happens. I'm curious what their, hold on a second, I have a text. Y'all give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. I answered your text. You know who you are. So I thought we might, we could watch that video, and just we could talk about that. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about on the FOIA? Because there was a few more things that I thought about discussing at the end of the FOIA. There was some pictures that they shared, some items that they shared, and I just didn't know if there was anything else that you wanted to touch on the Coast Guard FOIA that you thought might be significant.
That I just wanted to, everybody to be aware that that's a 57-page detail. That's the most detailed report that I've seen from anything out of this entire case. And I really just don't think that much was left out, if anything was left out. So again, we have inconsistencies based off of their report compared to the things that DNR has stated. How did Davis Pander call Coast Guard and be told that they had already got the call when he ended at 4:54 and the 911 call wasn't even made till 4:56? There's just too much going on that just doesn't make sense. That's the only report that does make sense to me.
You want to know something else that's weird? Let's talk about this right here. Let's talk about this email that I got from the Attorney General's office. When I didn't get a phone call back, I had to send an email. And of course, it says, thank you for contacting the South Carolina Attorney's Office regarding a peaceful protest. We do not issue permits on behalf of the state. If you are planning to host an event on the State House grounds, you may review the information on the South Carolina Department of Administration's website at this link. Or if you're planning to host the event in the city of Columbia, you may contact the city manager's office. So I've already contacted Richland County Sheriff's Office and spoke to the civil processor, and she's told me to call the Attorney General's office because I'm talking about having a peaceful protest in front of the administration office, like the main office in Richland County, like on State House grounds, where the big office is. Now there is a local office in Aner. And of course, to go there, you would have to reach out to whoever's local there, but I wanted to go to Columbia. So that's why I called the sheriff's office. AJ, what did you say about this when I told you that? I said, why didn't she just tell me to call the city manager? Why would they send me on this little wild goose chase about who to call? Isn't that weird? It's very strange. Matthew, you can come up on your phone. Like I can send you a link to a live stream if you want to do a live to talk about some of the things that you feel like that you want to share. And you just click that link, and you don't have to have a camera. You can just have your little emoji, your little avatar like I have, and it will enable you to speak on the panel with us. And then when you're done, you can just you have a thing that'll say, where you can log out. If you're interested, you can just let me know. But anyway, are you there, AJ? Let's see. Precisely, MJ5. Agree. They said it was not shrimp season anymore. That was the reason that the Ronnie Floyd superior, that's what he was told, that they had to call us his superior to get permission for him to drag his net, and that he was not allowed to because it was no longer shrimp season. And you can go back to the previous live stream in where we had the Danny Jewel call to hear that information if you missed it. I think it's like at the front of that live stream. So I'm so sorry, Sherry. My thoughts and prayers are with you.
I'm just curious how many people do y'all think that Christian Holden wanted to cover for the time he waited to call 911, or is it possible he called somebody else that he didn't want to show on that bill? All questions that we would know if SDDNR would do their job.
Yeah.
And if we keep waiting, it's whoever he called, if they have T-Mobile, it's going to be gone. That evidence is not going to be retrievable because they only keep them for a year.
And they know that.
And that's exactly what they're hoping for. Just like sending you in the runaround. That's what they did. They know what they're doing. But we do too.
I just thought it would be good to break down, some of this information. There are things that I can't disclose about, that are going on right now. But, we just try to talk through the information that we do know that doesn't make any sense. And what would have made sense is to have Tyler listed as a missing person and then make a command center and appropriately handle this case like it needs to be handled.
And let's not forget, Dutchess, that SCDNR was not on the scene for a whole 2, I think maybe even 2.5 hours or somewhere around there after it all happened. They didn't even get there. So I don't know who was responsible for doing things like confiscating the gun, containing the gun, not letting it walk away, things like that. Who's to say that something didn't happen out there and Christian accidentally fired his gun and Tyler got hit? Nobody knows because nobody that knows will talk.
Yeah. It just, a lot of stuff just doesn't add up. Missy says, I will ask first. Matthew, what do you know that Dutchess or any of the followers, me included, might not know? Assuming you follow this story. I think Matthew actually came down and did some searching and some things. With, I guess, his girlfriend, wife. I don't know if they're married. I don't know all the ins and outs of all the things, y'all. So he may have his own take on things because he was actually out here searching, so I don't know. That's a good question, Missy. Why did CH have some remove his things from the landing? What things?
I would assume the gun and waiters.
Yeah, like TJ Brown. Now, I've heard two different things going around the internet. I've heard people think that TJ Brown picked up the waiters and the gun off of the jetties
No,
and took them. And I'm like, no.
no.
And then I hear people say that TJ Brown came to Windjammer and took CH's gun and waiters
He did. He
from
followed the boat.
Windjammer.
He followed the boat. He watched them rescue Christian off the rocks and then followed them to Windjammer. And the reason that I know that he didn't pick them up from the rocks is because the y'all already know I can't say that word.
Don't say the H. It's
Okay.
Ori.
The Oreo, I mean okay, that word, yeah, that they even say in their statement that he asked him specifically about what Tyler had on, and he said, and then I asked him about, because Christian said the same, and he said the waiters, I specifically asked him about, pointing at them, and Christian said, yeah, that tells me Christian still had on the waiters when they got to him. And then it says TJ Brown followed them to Windjammer. Why? Hannah was already there.
I don't know. That is interesting. And Matthew, that's okay. Guys, I have an important phone call. AJ, if you will talk to the chat for just a minute, I need to take this.
As I sit here and think about what we can put on the billboard. Because I'm definitely going to do this billboard to call out SCDNR, even if I only do it for a couple of weeks. Dutchess has already said she will design it. And if that don't get, and I really want to post it in Columbia, so I want everybody to tell me what you guys think. Because that's where the big wigs are. And I mean, it's an embarrassment of them is how I look at it. Yes, Angie, I like that one too. It was straight and to the point.
Okay,
But
I
it's gonna happen.
apologize.
If that's the only way we can get their attention, then that's what we're going to do. I talked to Dutchess about it last night. She said she'll design it, and then it's going to piss some people off, but oh well. I've done that before.
I apologize, guys. That was a very important phone call that I had to take. So thank you for understanding. Matthew, that is perfectly fine. If if we just like to hear it from you, if you actually, had this experience and the information is yours, then, I would just, I want to always offer people to be able to explain and tell their own story. That way nothing gets messed up and I don't misspeak on it. And that's why, I allow people to come up and, explain their story. So, because I think people would rather hear it from you, but I totally respect that. And it's perfectly fine.
And you guys, please don't forget to say a huge, huge prayer for the Doyle family. There's other things that is going on that this family is going through, and they need all the prayers right now that they can get.
Yes, that was the closest place to go, Lisa. That was the first accessible landing. It's not even a public landing, but it's the first boat landing coming back in from the jetty. There's a private one that nobody uses, and it's got a bunch of garbage and stuff built up in front of it, and that's off the Battery, which is that area that I was talking about earlier in the live.
See, Dutchess, I'm confused on that too. What Miss Sandra just said. I can't pinpoint. I thought he had only known him a couple of weeks. I can only tell you that there's no calls between the two before the month of January. So even if it was 3 weeks that they knew each other, from my understanding, a lot of people don't think Tyler would have gave his keys over.
I was told that they known each other. It was possible up to a month, but I think it's because they may have met, whether it was through, I don't know if it was through a work thing or if it was through,
The
I mean,
weird
they
thing
have
is,
mutual friends that hunt. So I'm assuming they might have also connected that way as well.
well, somebody said today that there was a post from November that Christian had liked. My thing with that is a lot of Tyler's post wasn't private, and I remember looking before and didn't see any likes. And I don't think that it shows you the date that somebody liked something. So just because Christian liked a post from November doesn't mean it was November when he hit that like button.
Who's Tanya Brown?
I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
Who is asked Tanya Brown to question Ronnie Floyd about the speculation of SCDNR policy and procedure? I don't know, but I hope that ain't the family advocate person because she'll probably get cussed out. Asked Todd. I think they meant Todd. Asked Todd Brown to question Ronnie Floyd. No. Who is Tanya Brown?
ABC 15 News.
Oh.
Mm.
Well, there's a recording where ABC 15 kind of called somebody in the family, and it wasn't on Shay's side, and that person kind of got snippy and rude with them, and then yeah, I don't know if that would go very well.
She was given a direct statement from the track, but never posted it because it wasn't juicy enough for her. Well,
between wanting juicy stories and wanting to find people that are trying to help with shrimp boats, and none of this thing, y'all are better than me because I'd have been lost my cool living up there.
Yeah.
Y'all deal with a lot.
Yeah. It's been quite a journey. So, but it's already,
clear up, Dutchess.
What?
Because somebody's saying that I'm wrong, and I might be, and if I am, I apologize. But I could have swore, did you or did you not say that when you were picked up the day that y'all went out on the jet skis, was it not that DNR was already right there at your boat dock?
Yes, DNR was sitting out there when I walked out there to wait on Shay and Chad to come pick me up on the jet ski. I was walking down the pier to go to the end of the dock, and I saw that there was a boat out there at the end of my dock, and I thought, who is that? And I got to the end, and it was a DNR officer there talking to my neighbor who just bought a plot of land to build a house. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to clarify that. And then he pulled y'all over later on, or pulled Chad over, correct?
Not even a quarter of a mile down the waterway.
Thank you.
As soon as we took off on the jet ski, he took off right behind us. Yeah, and then, yeah, that was terrible.
Let's all get on a group call.
Right. Well, I mean,
I won't hold my breath for that one.
We just really want this investigation to have been handled differently, and that's what, that's why these petitions are very important. Yeah. And those links are in the description of this live. If you have not signed the petition, please do so. If you would mind reading it, it really would help the Doyle family. One is the Beacon petition, and the other petition is to have South Carolina DNR removed from Tyler Doyle's investigation, and to be investigated themselves about how this case has been handled. But it's already 10 o'clock, and I have a couple of important phone calls that I need to make. And so I'm going to wrap this live up tonight. But we will be back on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And I'm going to look further into this video and find some really important clips that I want you guys to see about game wardens. And there is some other information that that I'm working on, and hopefully I'll have it by Wednesday. And then, you know, there's always going to be stuff that transpires between now and Wednesday that we're going to have to talk about as well. So I do hope that you guys have a good week, and stay strong out there. Don't let anybody bully you on the internet, and don't be bullying people on the internet. Like, we're all adults in here.
Right. And if you
And
know
we
Christian Holden, just please ask him to just settle it. Just settle it. Just turn over that one little section of the real phone bill, because we're going to get it regardless, one way or another. Just settle
Yeah.
this. And a lot of this can just be give the family that time, give the family that so they can start healing from this without all of the questions and the things that have gone unanswered. That's all we're asking. You want it all to stop, you want it to go away, hand it over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then we can focus solely on DNR and you won't be in it no more. Whatever happens with DNR and you, that's between y'all. We just want the truth. Whether we have to go through them to get it or you give it to us. One way or another, we're not stopping. It's going to be gotten. Make it easy. That's all I care about.
Yes, I agree. We're going to keep fighting. And I'm going to go try to hang up some more flyers of Tyler. I gave out some flyers this weekend during the bike rally of Amber Ray Johnston and Tyler Doyle. I had a few flyers of Summer Wells. I gave those out. So I'm going to try to go to some more boat landings this week. And I'm going to also talk to Shay to find out when we might be able to get back out there on the water. Hopefully it's going to warm up a little bit and we'll be able to get back out there to the South Jetty and Wadey's Island. So, but I hope you guys have a good night, and prayers for anyone who's fighting something, that's going through something difficult. There's a lot of people here that are good people, and don't hesitate to reach out to somebody if you need help. We're all going through something. That's why kindness is free, guys. So go out and be a light into the world and do something for your community, and help share this information out about Tyler, and we really will appreciate it.
Good night, you guys. Good night, Dutchess.
Y'all take care. Thank you, AJ, so much for being here. Y'all put some hearts and prayer hands in the chat for AJ. We hope your nephew is doing okay. And
yes, he is. Thank you so much.
Good. And we look forward to talking with you on Wednesday. So I'll be in touch with you, and we'll figure out what's going to be next on Wednesday for this case. So I hope you have a good night.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Okay, y'all. Thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to smash the like, share this video out so we can get Tyler Doyle's name in the algorithm. We need to have these people out here on social media watch these live streams so that they understand why justice for Tyler Doyle is so important. The Doyle family needs our help, and that's how we can make it happen, is to like this stream and to share this stream out, because it helps get Tyler's name out there. Go over and sign the petitions and share those out. Don't forget to visit thecleartruth.com. And also there is a link to the Facebook group in the description box. And also there is one on my Facebook page. If those links don't work for any reason, just shoot me a message, shoot Michelle a message. We'll get you a link. Okay? I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I'm going to play us a little outro to take us out of here. And I appreciate all you do to help keep Tyler's name out there. Stay strong, guys. We are going to keep fighting for Tyler Doyle.
Let's go, it's time to be the GOAT. It's time to enter God mode, man, let's get it going. I wanna be the greatest, energy is overflowing. I know I'm stoking the fire, my desire's taking over, not tired, I'm inspired, rewired. I know just what is required, my brain knows how to decipher. The message is looking brighter, already paid up the pipe, but my game is getting much tighter. I feel my body on fire, Now it's game time, all the practice to prepare for this main time. I could do anything, that's my baseline. Go ahead and do you, I'ma make mine. You gon' read me in the headlines. Always go up, I don't know a decline. On the glow up, getting better with time. Yeah, I'm about to hit my prime. The air is filled up with suspense. We've got our dreams we must defend. And we know what we represent. So we'll keep fighting till the end. And we'll keep fighting till we win. This is our calling, this is our calling. Yeah, we'll keep fighting till the end. And we'll keep fighting till we win. This is our calling, this is our calling. Yeah, we'll keep fighting till the end. I hope you're ready for battle, you better get on the saddle. We got some demons to tackle, yeah. We about to put on a show. These haters don't even know they're in too deep like a hole. And they about to find out what it means when you enter into my house. How it feels when you always seem to strike out. Cause I don't lose, no I win, I go all out. The air is filled up with suspense. We've got our dreams we must defend. So we'll keep fighting till the end. And we'll keep fighting till we win. This is our calling, this is our calling. Yeah, we'll keep fighting till the end. And we'll keep fighting till we win. This is our calling, this is our calling. Yeah, we'll keep fighting till the end. They can feel the storm, it's coming. They can hear the drum beat thumping. Off in the distance, we're the resistance. They gon' be the one who's running. They can feel the storm, it's coming. They can hear the drum beat thumping. Off in the distance, we're the resistance. They gon' be the one who's running. They can feel the storm, it's coming. They can hear the drum beat thumping. Off in the distance, we're the resistance. They gon' be the one who's running.